Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit True Off My Chest and it's by user ThrowArray1. My little brother, 3 male, is actually my fiance's 25 male kid. Yes, the title is effed up, I am aware. My fiance, 25 male, and myself, 24 female, have been together since we were 17 to 18 years old. Honestly, he was always kind, handsome, funny, and everyone used to say I was so lucky to have the whole package. I felt so lucky too. He always treated me with love and respect, so this makes everything just so shocking for me. I have also always had a good relationship with my mom. It has always been her and I against the world. My dad died in an accident when I was little. We always joked we are the real-life Rory and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. My mom dated guys on and off, and they were usually cool, but nothing really past the early stages. Around 4 years ago, my mom told me she was pregnant, which was a huge surprise. My mom was around 42 years old, and although she was sort of dating someone recently, didn't meet the guy but knew she went on dates, it still was a big shock. She never thought she could be pregnant at her age. She had me when she was super young, an oopsie, and I can tell she was stressed and worried. I decided to support her since she has always supported me and tried to reassure her. She then had my brother, who is now 3 years old. I have a close relationship with my brother. I have helped taking care of him since he was born and I just love the little guy. My fiance was also always helpful with my brother. We would take him out for ice cream, playground, pool time during the summer, etc. But nothing was weird. He was just my then boyfriend spending time with my brother and I. Now to the how I found out. My fiance and I lived together since we finished college. My fiance was not at home since he was hanging out with friends, but I was home because I didn't feel like going out and just wanted to chill on my sofa. At some point during binge watching a series on Netflix, my laptop died and I was too lazy to get the charger, so I just took my fiance's iPad. I know the password, but honestly never used it before. The iPad logged in and I got a bunch of messages pinging. I guess he hasn't used it in a while too? Anyways, this got my attention and I went to check it out, and of course I found everything. My mom's number wasn't under her name, but I recognized the number and verified it with my phone. She was telling him she felt guilty and that I should know. He said he also felt guilty but couldn't lose me and they effed it up. She said that it was unfair for my brother to never know who his dad was and asked if he could live having his son around not behaving like a dad but a brother-in-law. I broke down. What the actual F? There weren't a lot of older messages, just some photos stored of my brother as a newborn, my mom pregnant, and more photos of my brother growing up in an album. I couldn't take anymore. I cried for what it seemed ages and I waited for my boyfriend to come back home. I wish I was one of those women that can pretend and get things together before confronting the cheater, but I can't. He came back later that night, around 11:30 p.m., and I just gave him the iPad with the conversation opened and saw his face completely go pale. I asked for an explanation. When? How? Why? And he didn't want to at first, but he knew he had to. Apparently, a few years back, while I was traveling with some friends, girls trip, my fiance and mom had dinner together. This isn't strange, since he has been a part of the family for so long. Sometimes my mom and fiance would eat together at our place, even if I was busy with sports or out. I did the same with his parents. Somehow, unclear how since he couldn't explain it well, one thing led to another and they ended up sleeping together. They felt guilty, but apparently not guilty enough because they slept together 2 to 3 more times, using the excuse of meeting up to discuss how to tell me. Apparently, when my mom got pregnant, they stopped sleeping together and decided to not tell me, since my fiance loved me and couldn't lose me, and my mom didn't want to lose her daughter. So here we are now with 2 of the most disgusting humans. I obviously broke the engagement, told my mom to never talk to me again and moved in with a friend. I feel bad for my brother since I really love him, but I can't be around him now. I just can't. I feel like it would remind me of all those times we talked about having kids. I would be his baby mama, only baby mama. We talked about this future since we were 17 years old. So I want to puke every time I think how I was actually taking care of his kid with someone else while still having those dreams. I want to puke. Woof, OP, your mom is a piece of work. And your ex-fiance or ex-boyfriend or whatever, yeah, also, he absolutely sucks. But the only question I have is, did your mom try anything before this? Because your fiance was 21 years old when this happened. Old enough for consent, sure, but still, there was a 20-year difference between them. Gross. Now, for you, I think of course that you've made the right decision, breaking off everything and telling your mom to F off. And I do of course feel sorry for your little brother because he's got no blame in all of this. He's just gonna lose his whole world right now because, well, his big sister's never gonna want to see him anymore. His mom's an idiot and his dad, he's another kid. And I don't know, maybe at some point in the future you would be able to be around your little brother to at least keep that relationship without having to talk to your mom or your idiot ex. But of course I wouldn't blame you if you can't. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Alternative Prior 9559 says, I'm so sorry OP for this devastating double betrayal. I'm not surprised you feel sick to your stomach as the two people you loved most in the world have stabbed you in the back and lied about it. You have no choice but to cut contact and keep it cut, as neither of them have your best interests at heart and there are zero excuses for what they did. Zero. Shame on both of them. How have they both reacted? I assume a barrage of apologies and begging followed your discovery. Are you able to get some individual counseling? This is too much emotional grief to carry alone. Sending you strength and courage. And OP responds, Mom texted me a few times and called me when she saw my texts saying I knew. I didn't see her messages, so no idea what they said. My fiance was destroyed by losing me, supposedly, and said nothing has to change and that we can cut contact with my mom and he won't see her again. I said absolutely no and that I needed to go, packed a bag and left. They haven't tried to see me in person yet. Part of me wishes they would fight harder to keep me in their lives, but part of me can't handle seeing them in person. ABCX says, your mother is truly the worst. She lied and kept lying to you all those years. I'd never be able to forgive her. How can someone do that to their own child? And OP responds, it's weird to come to terms with the mom I knew. She was always loving and supportive and just a great mom. And now this person, who is just a disgusting human. I don't know, my thoughts are everywhere. And Flynn JM says, when did the confrontation go down? Have you considered putting them on blast? If they are shunned, they are probably less likely to come find you. Right now, it's all about damage control, but if you blow up their reputations, there is nothing to fix. And OP responds, it was last Friday. My friend keeps telling I should blast them and tell everyone, but I guess I'm ashamed and still trying to process. I'm afraid it will be more overwhelming with everyone asking questions and talking about it, but I feel like maybe it's also a mistake to wait too long to tell others. I don't know, I'm just really overwhelmed. I just feel like crying every hour and not face anything. Additional information from OP's comments. Just to make it clear, when my brother was conceived, my fiance was 20-ish, so I don't think she groomed him. I imagine she thought she was too old to get pregnant and the chances were low to none. I can't confirm this, but is what I assume. She told me before, honey, it would take a miracle for me to get another kid. I asked her who the dad was when she broke the news to me, but she said it was a guy she was casually dating and he wanted nothing to do with the baby. I should have pushed for an answer, but I just never thought the reality would be this. Not in a million years. The effed up part is that she actually considered terminating the pregnancy, but I reassured her that if she wanted to keep it, I would be there to support her and she wouldn't be alone. I want to hit myself and go back in time. Maybe if I would have been less supportive, but then I can't imagine my little brother not alive. But at the same time, I wish he wasn't. I'm a mess. I blocked my mom. Just thinking about hearing her out gives me a panic feeling. I know I might have to eventually, but right now I can't. I'm afraid they will try to confront me in person somewhere around the city or work, etc. I don't think I can handle that yet. I work 9 to 6 p.m. in an office. I can't do remote work. If they want to find me, it's easy for them to do so. I have let my closest co-workers know if they see my mom or fiance around to let me know as soon as possible so I can avoid them. I really want to get a therapist because I can't deal with this alone, I know, but I can't afford a private one and the public one has a long waiting list. I just go into several waiting lists for different therapists, so hoping a spot opens up soon, but I'm stuck for now, waiting. I'm looking into moving cities, but it isn't easy. But I don't see myself living like this forever. Well, the community agrees that the mom and the fiancé suck big time, and OP was able to clear up that part about maybe possible grooming. But even though he was 20-ish when it happened, she could have started before that. And also, OP one thing, the existence or non-existence of your brother would not change the fact that your fiancé cheated on you and that your mom is a disgusting human being. And now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. First, I want to thank everyone for the nice messages and comments. I was not expecting so much support. I'm still a mess, not gonna lie. But after reading the comments, I felt better, like a therapy mini session, so thank you all again. To the update. As I was afraid, I was indeed confronted near my office this week. I knew this was coming, but thought maybe I had more time. My ex was the person to come find me. Yesterday, after finishing work and walking to where my car was parked, my ex was sort of lingering, waiting around. I thought about running, not gonna lie, but I guess in the moment I felt strong enough to get it over with, instead of having that hanging above my head waiting to be approached again. He asked if we could talk and I said yes, but I didn't feel like having that conversation over coffee like we were old friends. It felt ridiculous, so I told him to just talk right there. We were in the streets, but somehow it wasn't crowded, but also not completely lonely. It felt right. He basically said sorry 100 times and that I deserve better. I agreed. He said he did love me and that he still does, but he would understand why I wouldn't want anything to do with him. He said that if I did in fact consider giving him a chance, that he would go to therapy, alone or together or both, and that he would work hard to win my trust back. I told him it wasn't possible, there was just too much damage. This sounds calm when I type it, but in the moment, things came out with a louder tone and harsher words. Anyways, he did say that he is in the, or will be, it was a bit of a blur, process of getting custody, partly, from my brother, and that he in fact does want to be a dad to him. He said he does not want to be together with my mom, that it was just a stupid mistake, sure, because 2 to 3 times mistake is just a random thing. He couldn't explain why he did it in the first place. I think he doesn't even know himself. I asked if he cheated with someone else before. He said no. Not sure if I believe it, but he sounded honest. I asked why he didn't come clean, and he said that after he did the deed, he always felt panicked and it hits him that he couldn't lose me and he just didn't want to. I told him it was meant to be found out, that what was his plan, to have my brother around and ignore their relationship forever? He said he didn't think far enough and that he was basically going with the idea of one day at a time type of survival. I asked him if he felt that my mom seduced him. He said it was mutual, which made me want to puke again. I asked if he has any contact with my mom since I found out. He said yes, but mostly about my brother. Didn't elaborate more, and I didn't press for more information on that. He said he told his parents the day before or the day before that, not sure, Monday, Tuesday, about everything. The parents were not happy, but they are glad to start building now a relationship with my brother, their grandkid. Honestly, all of this felt like a punch in my stomach. I don't know why. The parents wanted to contact me, but he told them to wait till he approached me first, hence why he was here. I wonder what he told them, but we'll probably hear about it soon. I suppose his parents will contact me this week. They have always been nice to me and treated me like their own child. My ex is an only child, and the mom always wanted a girl. I know them since I was 15 years old, but I can also see them being on their son's side no matter what. I wouldn't be surprised. I asked if he started or thought about the custody before I found out, and he said no. But when I found out was like the push he needed. Great, seems I helped him get his crap together. Ugh. And this past week he was arranging all of that mess. That's why he hasn't tried to see me before. He sounded and looked defeated, but the whole thing made me, besides sad, angry. I was mainly depressed before, but now I'm furious. I feel like he is still in an okay place and he isn't paying for his actions beyond me leaving him. He will have my brother, his parents, and others and move on with his life, while I lost everything. I hate him. I did get the feeling he was trying to make me see things can be better and he can do better. Once he understood he wasn't getting anywhere, he started to talk about how my little brother will miss me, and how can I just leave him hanging, that I can still be in his life. I hope my brother and I can have a relationship, but I know I need to heal first. I miss him though, it's a weird feeling. We parted ways not in a happy note, and I told him to never get near me again. I was done. He asked me to see my brother still, that I was important to him, and tried to guilt trip me, and it worked. But I still think I can't. I don't know much about my mom and really hope she doesn't come find me anytime soon because I'm fuming right now and won't be able to handle it. I will be contacting my family and friends and finally doing the blasting today. I think it's about time, and after my talk with him, I got the extra push I needed. I have been so angry since yesterday, but getting better. I thought writing this update will help me cool down before I do the blasting. I also want it to be facts driven and not all an emotional blur. I will have my friend proofread my post to friends and family. We are not church people, but right now I wish we were, so she can get shamed by them. Well, Opie, of course this situation sucks, and hopefully you'll be able to work through it one day and maybe, who knows, have a relationship with your brother. And about the blasting, go for it. They both deserve the shame. So on that note, here's wishing you, Opie, the best in the future. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user SafeSorbet8327. Won't let me work? Okay. A few years ago, at my place of employment, they decided to bring in a new safety glasses policy. As I was a member of the safety committee, I was tasked with finding a company who could supply safety glasses that could fit our employees, and with a new criteria. It had to pass a pencil fit test. By this I mean a regular pencil should not be able to pass around any part of the glass to enter the eye area. A tight fit, as it were. I called around and found a company that was able to come out and provide us with a choice of 120 different models and styles to choose from. This would allow us to fit everyone, from fat to thin faces, tall, slim faces, hawk-shaped, big-nosed, you name it. We would be able to get them fit. I thought that it was in the bag, a piece of cake, or any other platitude you can think of. I almost dislocated my arm patting myself on the back. Well, of course, management has to step in and say, this doesn't work for us. Their solution? Find a company that has only 6 different styles of glasses and make it work. As I wear prescription lenses, these new style glasses were not designed for this. They only have inserts, which are clipped on inside. Well, to make the glasses pencil fit, the glasses fit. The frames are curved to fit your face. Hence, the insert is bent to fit the frame. Now, just imagine taking your glasses and bending them to sit tight to your face. See how this distorts your vision? Now, cue malicious compliance. I reported to my boss that I could not wear the new glasses as they distorted my vision and gave me headaches. Their solution was to have me try each model of glasses one at a time and get lenses made for them to see if I could find one that would work, knowing that no matter what they did, wearing curved frames would not work. Every time I got new lenses made, I made sure that they were high index, UV resistant, tinted, scratch resistant, and the best money could buy. I bought lenses for all 6 frame types at a cost of just over $7,000. At the end of this, I went to see my eye specialist and he wrote me a letter stating that I am not able to wear the new style glasses as they would damage my eyes. I took this letter into work and showed it to my boss. They didn't know what to do with me. I showed up for work every day, dressed and ready to work, but they never assigned me any work as it would be too dangerous. Even though I had worn my old safety glasses for the last 25 years, suddenly it's too dangerous. So they had me just sitting in the lunchroom. I would play games on the computer, I was going to night school, so I completed a semester of school and basically just screwed around. One day I was playing video games and our number 2 big boss walked in and saw me. I said, "Good morning," with a big smile and a wave. He didn't. A couple of days later, our number 1 boss walked in while I was reading the newspaper, and he asked me what I was doing, and I said, "Reading the paper." He said, "Why?" I said, "They told me it's too dangerous out there for me." The next day I was back at work. 10.5 weeks I was off, and suddenly the policy was changed. And to think this could have all been avoided if they just would have gone with the company that offered more choices. And even though you didn't get to work, OP, you still got some things done. Night school, some pretty high scores on your video games, I would assume, and you caught up with the news. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.